Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Making Sales Social Live. I'm Bryn Tillman, and I am really excited to be here today to talk about 7 activities for sales leaders and their teams.
Welcome to Making Sales Social Live, as we share LinkedIn and social selling training, strategies, and tips that will have an immediate impact on your business. Join Bryn Tillman and me, Bob Woods, every week. Making Sales Social Live. This is the recorded version of our weekly Making Sales Social Live show.
This is really about optimizing LinkedIn for social selling. I'm going to dive right in. So the first activity that we need to do is embrace social listening. This is about building rapport and social proximity. So one of my little pet peeves is when I get on a call with someone that I've connected with on LinkedIn, I've had some messages back and forth, and now we've set an appointment. Hi, nice to meet you. Where are you from? And I go, we're on LinkedIn together. Take 3 seconds, kind of do a little social listening. When I started in sales and I walked into an appointment, I would look around the office, maybe the walls of the hallway going down the office, and look at the awards they've won, pictures of their family. Maybe they have, big images of products, in the corner of their offices. But I would learn so much just making my way into the conference room to have the conversation. Well, we could do that on LinkedIn. We can take a little bit of time prior to every single conversation and just do a little deep dive into who they are, what content do they care about. Take a look at their influencers. You can see who they're following, maybe even companies that they're following. Take a look at their recommendations, who's saying great things about them, and even some of your shared connections. So don't show up to any meeting. So we want to keep in mind we're embracing social listening. There's also embracing social proximity. We'll get deeper into this in another step, but this is about looking at LinkedIn and social selling from a networking / relationship building perspective. So who do we know that knows who we want to know, and start to leverage this warm market mentality versus this cold outreach mentality. So that's the first thing. The next thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that all of our sales team, every client-facing person, has a profile that's on brand. If they are in a business development role, we want to make a shift in their profile from resume to resource. Lots of these folks are going to have people visiting their profile, vetting them before meetings. These are little micro landing pages representing you and the company. So we want to make sure that the voice is right, that the grammar is right, that the logo is right. Yeah, even the images and the content that's being shared. So before we send any sales rep into the field or on the phones, we want to make sure that their profile is on brand and is actually bringing value to the profile visitor. Right? The job of our profile is to help us convert a visitor to a conversation. Our content can do that. Our engagement can do that. But this landing page, if they show up and this is boring resume, this is, my years of experience, even my personal passion, yeah, they'll care about you, but not at the top of the funnel. They'll care about you and what you stand for a little bit further down. But when they get here, make sure that we have really great resources in the featured section, that the about section isn't your mission, your vision, your passion, but it's about the challenges that your prospects face, some really good insights that get them thinking a little differently about their current situation. And you'll hear that again when we talk about content. but ultimately saying, man, if I can learn this much from a profile, imagine what a conversation with this person will be. It's really a big deal. Next, number 3, they have the right mindset and approach. If they're going at LinkedIn like cold calling, or they even are trying to use automation, please, no automation. They're going to actually do the exact opposite of what they're looking to achieve. We have all been victims of the connect and pitch. So we want to make sure that the sales reps have the right mindset, that they're coming at this from a value-driven perspective, that they are looking at their LinkedIn activity very similarly than as they would if they were in a networking meeting. In fact, we often say, treat the person on the other side of the message the same way you would on the other side of the table. So if you're like, I want to talk with 100 people today, it's like walking into a networking meeting with a huge pile of business cards, walking around saying, hi, I'm Bryn, I'll take your card. Hi, I'm Bryn, I'll take your card, right? And now I have tons more cards, but no rapport building, no relationship. No one will even remember me unless it's a little bit like a laughing stock, right? So we want to make sure that we are in this. One last mindset that I think is so valuable for people to in fact, I recommend folks put it on a Post-it note and stick it on their monitor. Detach from what the prospect is worth to you and attach to what you are worth to the prospect. So why does that matter? We're not showing up here thinking, I got to hit my numbers, I got to get my commission, I got to make my sales, I got to fill my pipeline. We're out on LinkedIn saying, I want to bring value to my network. And as long as we're bringing the right value at the right time to the right people, the conversations will happen. Trust-based conversations will happen without being salesy. Number 4, set, measure, and tweak the right KPIs. Sales leaders, we are so stuck in the old-fashioned like reverse timeline down, how many calls do we have to make to get how many conversations? When we get stuck in that kind of that cold calling KPI mentality, we lose all the rapport and relationship building benefits here. So the KPIs that we should be looking at, the success of social selling is how many new conversations are we having with the right people around the right topic. That is the result KPI that we want to look at. And then we really need to back in what activities are going to get us there. And the activities that get us there are not going to be mass connect or mass messaging. We need to earn the right to get those conversations. So it has to be insights, value, conversation starters, not, hey, we help companies just like you, or, are you open to getting new clients? Or, right, like that. We are so over that as consumers. And, every time I get, are you taking on new clients? I just want to, no, I don't want any new clients ever again. I mean, it's such a silly question. Almost everyone is taking on new clients, but it's manipulative. And we don't want that. That's not how we build relationships or we get conversations. So really important. Number 5, access to social selling content. While you may not want your sales reps creating content, they need content that helps them to convert their connections to conversations. And social selling content really is going to fall under, let me just say, there's 5 points. I kind of touched on it in the profile. We're going to touch on it again. 5 points that content needs to have in order to be social selling content. Caveat, not all content is social selling content. This is not the formula for all content. This is the formula for the content, preferably evergreen content that your reps can use over and over again for each persona that they're reaching out to or each industry, that hits 5 points. Number one, it resonates with the buyer immediately. So for example, this particular live or podcast, this episode is 7 social selling activities for sales leaders and their team. Now, we've got lots of people that are listening live, and we're going to have lots of people that are watching and listening to this in replay. But the goal here was to attract sales leaders. Now, if other people come, that's great. I hope you're having fun. But if you're a sales leader, you probably said, yeah, I'm going to listen to this or show up and watch this live because it resonates with me. Number one. Number two, creates curiosity. Hopefully 7 social selling activities was enough to say, I'm curious, what are those activities that will get my team successful? Then when you get in, I have to teach you content, insights that you didn't think about before. They have to be new and innovative, because if I sound like everyone else, you're going to leave early.
Looking to up your LinkedIn game? The Social Sales Link team has you covered with our LinkedIn Sales Accelerator, a guided social selling program that includes training, coaching, and so much more. Visit socialsaleslink.com/in for more details. Again, that's socialsaleslink.com/in.
Will go down quickly, or you'll stick around and go, oh, that was a good idea. I'm ready for the next one. You also have a good idea that there's 7. I'm on 5 right now. There's only 2 more. It's worth hanging out for, right? But I have to earn that right by providing value and insights in around ways that you didn't think about this before. The next one, 4, is I have to get you thinking differently about the way you're running your business today. So you have to get social selling content. When you offer insights, the key is that you are shifting the mindset of your buyer, that they're going, I never looked at it this way before. And boy, that would be really helpful if we did things that way. And if you can do that, then we create number 5, which is a compelling moment. A like, a comment, a connection request, an acceptance of a connection request. Ideally, when we move them from lurker to engager, when they make a move, we now know who they are and we can start a conversation with them. If they don't respond, if they don't engage on the content, or if they don't, we will never know if they don't even respond to us sharing it, asking if they'd be interested in it, because our topic doesn't resonate or create curiosity. We're working for, kind of spinning our wheels. So it's really important that we've got the right content that creates the right action. So if we are looking for engagement, we need to have social selling content. And as sales leaders, we have to make sure that we're working with our marketing group, marketing team, to make sure that we have that available for all the personas and all the industries. Number 8, connecting with clients and prospects. I am blown away at how many conversations one of my new clients has that, and I'm like, are you connecting with the people you're talking to every day? He said, no. I said, well, how many people are you talking to every day? He's like, 3 to 5. Connect with them all. There's nurturing opportunities. There's more market opportunities. There's networking opportunities. They're going to change jobs someday opportunities. You want to connect with everyone you're having a conversation with, all those right people. Absolutely essential to success here. So make sure you're connecting. Go through your CRM. Look at all of your business cards. Pull out the business cards with the rubber bands in the corner of your desk and start looking through them and see who here should I be connecting with. It's really important. And number 7, mine your connection. So this is Identify your first degree connections, right? Take inventory and then find out who some of them know. So take inventory. You can export your connections, or you can search your first degree connections by industry, by title, by geographic location. Yes, in the free, we can do that. And we can build a list of all of the first degree connections that are past clients, current clients, prospects, referral partners, centers of influence, people that we want to start conversations with, people that we have been ignoring. Right. And then we're going to decide, how are we going to engage? Are we going to send them content? Are we going to ask them to vote on a poll? Are we going to ask them for a quote in an ebook that we're writing? There's so many ways to engage these folks and start trust-based conversations without being salesy. But the next thing we want to do, especially with our centers of influence and our clients, is we want to mine their connections. Take a look at who they know that we want to meet. And we reach out and say, Ms. Client, I've so enjoyed working with you. I'm glad we've been able to help you do X, Y, and Z. Such a absolute pleasure. I'm not sure if you know, but the way I've typically grown my business has been from introductions and referrals from my happy clients. I happen to notice that you're connected to quite a few folks on LinkedIn that I'd love to get in front of. Would you mind if I ran these names by you? Notice I'm not asking them for introductions. I'm just saying, can I run these names by you? Now, maybe there's 20, 25 names, and it's whittled down to 4 or 5. And we've got 4 or 5 names that they go, these would be great for you. They're like, thanks so much. Of these names, is there anyone on here you'd feel comfortable introducing me to? These 2, thank you so much. When I reach out to the other 3, is it okay that I mention you're my happy client and that you thought it made sense for me to connect? Great. Now I have 5 new opportunities in the pipe, and I'm coming in at a very high level of credibility. So those are the 7 social selling activities sales leaders really need to embrace and start to just, sew it into the fabric of your sales process. We're not taking over the sales process. We're not saying stop everything, but make sure that you are leveraging your social proximity, your relationships to start more trust-based conversations without being salesy. I'm going to hop into the questions, into the Q&A, and our first one is from Stan Edwards. Bryn, this is good stuff. Thanks, Stan. I appreciate it so much. Put in chat what you think, your favorite takeaway from this was. And Kevin says, great point. And we have an anonymous LinkedIn user. And I look on my other device, I see it's Michael. Michael, you have to change your settings so I can see you, but that's all good. Trust-based conversations. Yes, so important. So if you guys have any questions or you want to talk about any of your takeaways, I just kind of want to round this out by saying we should not be engaging in random acts of social selling. We really need to be conscious about the activities that we're doing and that it's driving the right results, the right engagement, that we're not just out there doing it for the sake of doing it, right? That we're out there with purpose. Oh, hello, my friend, Don Chester. It says, Brenda, is always great info and also a great example of how to put together content and put it out to prospects to get them engaged. Content. Yes, fabulous. And I think we have another LinkedIn user. I have to look down to see who this might be. It could be Dave Mentel. I'm impressed with your efficiency. I had the entire hour set aside. Thank you. Yep. No, I love to do them in 20 minutes or less, and now we're in Q&A. We don't have the time. We got to get to it. Absolutely. So that's awesome. I'm so glad that you found that helpful. Hello. We have Jay Fernando. Thank you. Always learn something new from your talks. I'm glad. Hopefully it's something new that gets you thinking differently about your current situation. And I created a compelling moment by having you comment. I love it. That's awesome. Justin, what about helping people in your network because it's the right thing to do. Hopefully at some point they'll reciprocate. So yeah, that's fine. As long as they're the right people in the right circles and that what you're providing for them is really value in their eyes. I don't want you to spin your wheels just being a really nice guy. Keep that for Facebook. Here, we want to be a really nice guy in the right space. Now, if someone else randomly reaches out for help, help them. I love that. But I would not go out seeking to help people simply to help them. So really important there. We have Don says, Dave, exactly. This is how to put a presentation together. Thank you. Samuel says, thank you very much, Bryn. After this, I'm going to offer the best value and ensure that my prospects are built in the right way. Love it. Tony says, Bryn, can you elaborate? Sorry, it's really tiny on my screen. On what is a good social selling content. Social selling content does these 5 things. Resonates with your buyer, creates curiosity, teaches them something new that gets them thinking differently about their current situation, and creates a compelling moment. So we're moving them from lurker to engager so we can start that conversation. LinkedIn user, this might be Dave again. I think we could all think more about what we are worth to our clients and how to articulate that. For most of us, the value really is very high. I am sure it's very high. But when we tell them it's very high, they don't believe us. But when we experience it, we earn the right to get the sales call. Guys, I've had so much fun. I hope you have too. Make sure you visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast to subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And then go to socialsaleslink.com/library where you can get all of our everything, ebooks, webinars, lots and lots and lots of content. And then wait, I have one more. We'll do one more. Can you please send out those 5 progressive points? Kevin, drop me a message on LinkedIn and I will get them to you. And I may actually create an ebook out of it now. So guys, thanks so much. If you're watching live, have a wonderful weekend. If you are listening in replay, have a wonderful day, whatever day it is. And we really appreciate you.
Don't miss an episode. Visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. Register for free resources at linkedinlibrary.com. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.